Oh boy. Here we go. Semifinals number 2. Mate, take it away.
What am I taking? As we load into this best of 3 semifinales here on ESL Curious Minds. ESL, of course, standing for Electric Song Lyrics. Electric Song Lyrics. We're in the top left-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the top left-hand corner. We have our red Zerg player hailing from the land of India. He, of course, is going to be representing Alpha X. He is Demi.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Curious Minds LE, we have the South Korean Terran player himself representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN.
And this definitely isn't the first time Demi and ByuN are facing up against each other. They, I believe, played a couple of times in Sparkling Tuna Cup, but also beyond that, they are some of the most regular players in a lot of the other OSC events happening. You know, what's it called? Not something cup. It'll come to me.
Some drunk Canadian cup?
Yeah, Drunk Canadian Cup.
Yeah.
That's definitely one that you see them both in a lot. Yeah, Cock of the Walk. Pretty regular in those.
Yeah, exactly. There are plenty of online tournaments out there.
What do we call it?
There you go. But yeah, there are plenty of online tournaments, and they're both very active. ByuN especially, he plays in a lot of online weeklies. You know, he's very active in the online scene. That's why I've seen some people before say like, "Yo, ByuN is like a world-class player. What's he doing here?" Well, mate, he's on the grind. You know, he's he's a full-time pro. He's got to make that money. He's got to eat tonight. You know.
This is how he became a champion for the first time. You know, just grinding in Oli Mo leagues and all of the other online events that happened in Lei Fang. You know, a lot of tournaments from 2016 that unfortunately aren't with us anymore.
Kung Fu Cups,
but Kung Fu Cups. Actually, Kung Fu Cup still happens, and ByuN still plays in them. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, this is really how he honed his skills and was able to get to the point where he was beating top class players in GSL and then later WCS.
Yeah, exactly. For those wondering, this is kind of the off season of GSL. The qualifiers were last week, if I'm not mistaken. But of course, GSL isn't around yet. So in that off season, ByuN, he's got to make some money.
I think it starts about a week from now, something like that. It's coming pretty soon. They just
next week.
They just dropped the trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, they just had media day. I think yesterday. They were posting some pictures. So yeah, of course, ByuN is going to be getting ready for GSL next week. But before that happens, he has to try and take down Demi, the best player in all of India. So far, nothing to really say much about the openers. We do have a 1-1-1 from ByuN, though.
Yeah, very Hellion focus here. And every time I see ByuN make Hellions, like, I wait for an armory to be made, and I panic a little bit. I get flashbacks.
Oh my god!
That time he's doing it. Like,
he's doing it. Let's go. There's a reason why you said it. ByuN loves his Hellbat pushes in TvZ. That's why we see the armory hidden behind the main base. That's why we see a medevac first to heal up those Hellbats. ByuN is going for a push, and Demi is none the wiser.
Under attack.
Yeah, unfortunately, he hasn't been able to get into the main base with his Overlord. The Marines really providing enough anti-air there. Okay, I was gonna say what's a Hellion's push out, then Demi will get a little bit of a sense of what's going on, but this doesn't tell him much about the armory. It doesn't tell him that, you know, ByuN is even pushing out with a couple of Marines behind this.
Yeah, we will have 8 Queens to defend for Demi, but there's no defensive baneliness. He has a decent amount of Lings as well. He is already pre-spreading. He's getting ready for the push. He's well aware of now what's coming his way, but does he have enough?
I think he should. Copium, as it all depends on how well positioned these units can be. Obviously, with the medevac, ByuN rather has the opportunity to pick up and juggle a little bit. One Queen already goes down.
Yeah, exactly. Very nice target fire there by ByuN. He also caught a couple of transferring workers as well. He goes all the way into the main base. The drones! Get away, Demi! Get away!
Thankfully, they are able to get away. They're lining up a little bit, but since these are Hellbats and not Hellions, they aren't really able to chase them down. ByuN doing ByuN things, picking up and trying to go for a little bit of a multi-prong here. Oh, the drones! The drones!
Okay, it looks like the drones for now are safe. Meanwhile, not so much here at the third. It looks like the Lynx get here just in time. You have some focus fire on that medevac. In the end, Demi will hold, but not without losing. Oh, as I quickly check the units lost tab, 7 drones.
7 drones and a whole lot of Lynx. That can add up when it comes to the mineral count. ByuN just loves his juggling.
Yeah, the medevac is still alive, by the way. He still has 2 Hellbats within it, so at any moment he can dive back in. But Demi's in position. He sees it. He's ready and waiting. And up!
Yeah, it shouldn't take too much for these queens to attack and shut the hell down. Those Hellbats and that medevac. ByuN forced to transition out from here. And to be fair to ByuN, he was playing to transition right from the start. Again, this isn't an all-in by any means. It's just that more often than not, when I see ByuN go for this opening, it ends up becoming an all-in because he knows how to really make the full use of it.
Yeah, exactly. He still has Hellions, by the way. His goal here is to deny the 4th base, and without too much creep, it looks like he should force a cancel.
Yeah, queens aren't able to get into position here. Drone almost survived, but will get taken out in the end.
Yeah, exactly. Queens are going off of creep, which is a little bit ambitious, but they have enough DPS here to force all this back. Meanwhile, when it came to the opener, again, 8 queens is the bare minimum to defend, and Demi, you know, he wasn't being overly greedy. He wasn't droning up too much or taking up too much either. So, yeah, he was able to survive, and now he has a very nice worker lead here.
Drones?
Uh-oh.
Oh, right, the Liberator.
Yeah, the lib is here. It's already been taking some damage, but it looks like it killed the queen at the natural.
Oh! Yeah, could get another queen, not quite enough DPS to really take that out, but as all the queens get positioned in the natural base, ByuN is coming into the 3rd base. Will get chased away once again, but at the very least is able to confirm, yep, you're getting double Evo.
Yeah, that
Bane is here to stay.
That was honestly really nice damage in the natural base. Like, the Liberator didn't get too many drone kills, but it forced a lot of lost mining time as well, and this is pretty necessary because of how the Hellbat push went. Ideally, ByuN wanted to get a little bit more damage done with that Hellbat push, so the Liberator did help make up for that. He is slowly catching up in the worker count. He has a decent army. 1-1 about to finish up. Gonna have a pretty big window here where he has that upgrade advantage. But we'll see if he keeps on going. Like, again, ByuN is one of the more aggressive Terran players out there.
Speaking of, the minute Sim finished up, ByuN was already posturing to move out. Combat Shield just finished up. 1-1 is now done.
Yep.
And ByuN making nothing but Marines and Medevacs, and also SCVs, but yeah, he's looking to reinforce this as much as possible. Has to be careful. Demi has a very healthy Baneling count right now, and pretty soon he's going to finish up 1-1 as well as Baneling speed.
Exactly, needs a little bit more time for Baneling speed. Without Baneling speed, it's really difficult to really engage. A lot of creep is being cleaned up here, but the queens have survived, so of course Demi can respread it once he cleans up this army. If he cleans up this army.
Yeah, big if. I think he does have enough, but yeah, every time you're looking at an army of ByuN, they're kind of anticipating him to split as efficiently as possible. He even takes out a couple of Banelings here that we're looking to run by.
Yeah, exactly. Demi now has eyes on this. He's well aware of a bit of a double drop head towards the 4th base. He is now on the way. But again, that does kind of expose himself a little bit towards the bottom left. ByuN does unsiege, and looks like he will not lose this drop.
Yeah, he loses a couple of units, but the vast majority of his Marines were able to survive. He is dropping on forward to a different position, and because he confirms the army position, he regroups with his tank. He stims on forward, takes out a queen. Not really able to push on further, but at least he establishes his foothold. He can continue to reinforce this.
Exactly. He got 2 queens, and his tank is now that much closer to the army. It's going to make this push that much more difficult to defend as he now just dives on top of the hatchery. At the same time, goes for the drop into the main base.
And really splitting the attention of Demi as much as possible. Finally starting to lose his ground here in the southern base. But back in the main...
Oh, yeah, back in the main, it looks like the drop hasn't really been able to do too much. 4 drones went down, which is nice, but at the same time, here comes the rest of the army, and GG gets gold!
Didn't even need to deny 2-2. GG, ByuN takes game number 1.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I thought Demi had a decent amount of Ling Bane, but he was just out of position. He was being pulled apart there at the end by essentially a tri-pronged attack. Oh.
Yeah, I'm definitely I'm definitely very impressed by Demi. It feels like he didn't really take that much damage compared to, you know, a lot of other TvZs where ByuN
Yeah.
goes for this opening. But in the end, I guess he saw the writing on the wall. You know, it's difficult to defend two bases that are pretty much on opposite ends of the map like that. And yeah, he didn't quite have one, the army count, and two, the tech to you know, really be able to go back and forth like that.
I think a lot of it did come down to the fact that it took a long time for Demi to clean up the southern army. Eventually he did, but again, by the time that happened, another army was already knocking on his doorstep, and Creep was being cleaned up as well. Like, he just, yeah, was keeping up to a point, and then things did kind of snowball in ByuN's favor there.
And with that, ByuN is now one map away from making this a TvT finals.
Ooh, that he is.
Everybody who is looking to prevent that, give your energy to Demi right now.
Yeah, and
once again, the only non-Terran player in the semifinals.
Yeah, and again, he wasn't looking bad that game. Like, he didn't take too much damage to the Hellbats. You know, he was dealing with the aggression. He was dealing with the push as well. Like, yeah, it wasn't completely one-sided, I guess is what I want to say.
Yeah. Hopefully, you know, Demi's able to secure himself a position in the early game and then get into those mutas where we can really start to see him shine here. But that is still to be determined, as we are going to be loading into ESL Hardwire. ESL, of course, standing for Evening Singing Llamas. Evening Singing Llamas. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. We, of course, have our red Zerg player coming down from the land of India, the Jewel of India. He is, of course, the Shock himself, representing Alpha X. So looking at you, Sushi. He is Demi.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Hardwire LE, we have the South Korean Terran player himself representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Oh boy.
Yeah, ByuN kind of went to the same school that Keen did when it comes to series preparation. If you get ahead, it just end it, mate.
Yeah, once you have a little bit of momentum, you know, just slam your foot on the gas, you know, just go for it. We have a proxy 2-racks here from ByuN. Demi does keep his second overlord here, so he will see SCVs as they come in to throw down bunkers.
Or will he? He's
Should.
repositioning the overlord a little bit. Okay, that's still a decent position for the overlord to be, to catch the marines as they come in.
Yeah, unfortunately, the first overlord wasn't really looking for proxies. It's just going straight away across the map, so he's a little bit in the dark. But the SCV is coming in, and Demi's overlord does see it.
Yeah, one SCV at this timing, not the most suspicious thing in the world, but then you have two, and that's when you start worrying a little.
Yeah, now he knows 100% what is going on. He's already pulling some boys here. The goal is to stop these bunkers from getting up and to try and deny all these marines. And so far, gets us around.
Yeah, I think ByuN might have pulled the trigger a little bit too early, pushed out when he only had one marine, but the creep hasn't gotten to the point where ByuN can't throw down a bunker in range of that hatchery. A couple of links coming out right now, and ByuN still has plenty of marines where that came from.
Oh yeah, the marine count is slowly getting higher. The bunker is now halfway done. Queens are on the way. It looks like the drones are going to be able to zone away these marines. The lings are going to be able to deny this bunker. A little bit though. There's still one more SCV.
Yeah, hopefully Demi is still focusing on that SCV and should be able to take it out. Very nicely done here, but yeah, the marine count has not been dealt with, and it's slowly getting higher and higher.
Yeah, exactly. But the queens are now out. With these queens and the lings, looks like Demi should have enough firepower. Oh god, doesn't want to overextend. Oh, one queen already almost at half HP.
Yeah, some good starter stepping from ByuN can really clean that up, but does he want to go for that right now? Well, he isn't expanding yet. He is teching up a little bit. He's going for a factory and getting a reactor on top of that. But there we go. ByuN has given up on this for now, and we'll begin the next stage of the game.
Yeah, very nice responsive. Oh my god. Oh, Demi almost loses one queen. No, Demi, please. Don't lose it.
Oh! He even loses all of the marine, all of the links here. This will get. eventually, and Demi is still alive, but this is more than worth it right now for ByuN.
Yeah, I thought Demi had defended beautifully, and he had until he lost both those queens. Like, if it wasn't for that, he would have been perfectly fine. Losing 2 queens this early on hurts so much. Your larva, more importantly, your creep spread is going to be stifled. Demi has survived, but ByuN did you know, kind of equalize here, dealing some damage.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for Demi to even go for a counter attack right now. He has a very healthy link count, but this is hardwired. The rush distance is a little bit of a longer one, and ByuN is already producing Hellions. So, yeah, this is a rough start to say the least. And even then, it's even then, I feel like that's understating it.
Yeah, pretty much, mate. Like, because these Hellions, Demi can't really go for a counterattack all in or anything like that. He has to take a third base. He was trying to take the third earlier, but he was denied by ByuN as well, so his third is even more delayed. It is on the way, and he can catch back up. And the game is kind of settling down from here and kind of resetting. I say kind of, but it's ByuN we're talking about. And he just makes 4 Hellions, and immediately he just goes across the map. Yeah.
Continue to shave off the link count. He... best case scenario, would like to get into one of those mineral lines, and it actually does get pretty easy when there aren't any lings. But Demi is making sure that he has a healthy queen count. He is spreading creep as diligently as possible.
Yeah, he has his queens here at the front door as well to deny entry for these Hellions. Baneling Nest being thrown down, so Demi not cutting any corners. He's playing this safe with that safety Baneling Nest. And yeah, I guess we're just gonna catch back up from here. Oh, but with this Viking from ByuN, I love that he does this. I think he did do this in the last game as well. Makes a Viking just to deny any additional vision here from his opponent. Oof.
Yeah. And now we have a whole heck of a lot of Hellions. No armory, so they're not going to be turned to Hellbats, but without that medevac support, it might just be better to have Hellions instead. You got kiting potential.
Yeah, I'm really scared. Like, when you have 8 Hellions, oh my god, they're kind of outpositioning the queens. They want to dive in.
But the Lings, thankfully, are able to get into position. Not quite. That's still a lot of Hellions, yeah.
Yeah. And just like that, they're able to roast up these drones here at the third base. They don't get into the natural. The goal here for ByuN was to break into the natural base. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to. Demi, with some nice link positioning, he holds on.
Like so. You're not really getting that much damage in here in game number 2. Well, I say that, but after the initial proxy, you're not really getting much drone damage here with his Hellions.
He's back, by the way. He's back with a vengeance. But again, we have a wall of Lings. The Hellions cannot break in. They respect those Lings of Demi, and yeah, the Hellions haven't done too much. They are stopping some of the creep threat, though.
Yeah, ByuN really doesn't want to waste a scan right now, so he's not, able to really force this creep to recede, but he is preventing it from getting out of hand.
It really is. Meanwhile, back at home, we do see Stim on the way. We do have double NG base as well for 1-1, and there we go. As soon as he has enough units, he is just loading up and going across the map.
And you know what? Because of the opening, Demi has never felt safe to tech up. He's getting his Evo chambers now, but where is his Baneling Nest? Is complete, but it's gonna take him a while to get Baneling speed. Lair only now finishing up.
Yeah, we need Baneling speed ASAP. There we go. It's finally on the way here for Demi. He needs it as soon as possible. But ByuN is already here. As you were saying before, we don't have an armory, but with all these Marines, Hellions, and even a tank, oh my god.
Yeah, it really shouldn't take much for ByuN to be able to establish his foothold here towards the south. Got to turn a lot of creep once again. The Hellions providing a very nice buffer here for all of these Marines. He has to be careful. He doesn't want to bunch them up too much against these Banelings. But regardless, the Banelings won't come into play anyway. Yeah. Tank in the low ground, still shelling away at these queens, and the Marines are well in position to clean everything else up. Demi even loses a couple of drones from here.
Exactly, like you were talking about, like, oh, he has to be careful because of the Banelings, but mate, the target fire was insane. ByuN killed every single Baneling egg before it was able to morph in. Even kills the creep tumor here with his tank. Oh my god. Eventually, Demi does hold on, but he lost a lot of workers there. Now ByuN has the drone lead. Demi will be able to stabilize with Baneling speed and with 1-1 on the way. But he is still on the back foot.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that ByuN didn't decide to reinforce that. Like we typically see him do, instead the name of the game for him was to go back home, focus on getting expansion and macro up a little bit. He should be going for his follow-up push fairly soon. Combat Shield just finished up, and 2-2 is about to... 1-1, I should say, sorry, is about to finish as well.
Yeah, going to be a very strong 1-1 timing here for ByuN. He was able to keep his tank alive from earlier, so now pushing out with 3 tanks. That's more than enough he needs. Unfortunately, +1 melee won't be ready for this attack. +1 armor will, and that will help Demi when it comes to closing the distance and actually connecting banelings on this army. Baneling speed is on as well. But can Demi hold on to this 4th base? Because that's exactly what ByuN wants to deny.
Like so. Well, not quite like so, but like... Okay,
Yeah.
he's not focusing on it just yet, but
Yeah,
he's drawing the army out of position.
Yeah, he's pushing on in. The tanks are getting in position as well here on the low ground, bearing in mind that tanks here can shell away at the mineral line. This is a very abusable position here for the Terran player. Demi is expanding towards the left-hand side, so he can always kind of retreat and pull the workers away. There we go, tanks already in range.
And ByuN even loads up a medevac and throws down a couple of Marines to really punish him.
Yeah, exactly. Thankfully, this is taking a little bit of time, so Demi is going to be able to respond. He tries to go for a full surround here. Ling's coming from behind, and he will get on top of every single one of these tanks.
Yeah, just a little bit too much here. Well, I was going to say a little bit too much here for ByuN to deal with, but it was only too much for the tanks to deal with.
Yeah.
ByuN did such a good job of keeping his Marines alive, and he is able to continue from there and take that series 2-0.
GG. Well played. Like, Demi, unfortunately, not the best use of his banelings there. I don't know if you saw, but it basically took everything that Demi had to kill all those tanks. And the Marines, they just stimmed backwards, you know? They just, like, they were like, okay, fine, sure. You want to lose all your banelings for free? Go right ahead. And that means that there was nothing left to deal with the remaining bioforce, and Demi knew that, okay, there's no way I can hold him to the 4th base. There's no way that I can come back from this position.
Yeah, I think there may have been one baneling at the end there for Demi after that encounter, but it didn't really matter. One baneling, it really doesn't take much to target fire it down with the Marines, and that's exactly what ByuN did. And he still had a very healthy Marine count there. Demi knew that it was only a matter of time before ByuN would be able to reinforce that. Writing was on the wall, and with that, we are going to have our TvT finals after a raffle.
Congratulations to ByuN. I mean, we all expected ByuN to make it to the finals, but the finals are going to be quite spicy indeed. We have seen Keen take it to ByuN in the past, especially in a TvT, so that's going to be a spicy finals for us. But before that, we have something else to do.
Indeed, we do.